Hey, what's going on? This is the Real Table Podcast. This is the first episode. Well, I hope so. I'm doing this shit live, and hopefully this video actually, makes it. There's a good chance none of this will actually work, and I'm gonna have to fucking do it all over again. But if it does work, then you're hearing the first take of this. What is it? It's Saturday, March 30th, I think, 2019. It's almost 3:30 in the morning. It's about 3:21, 22. Yeah, 3:22 a.m. I'm a night person. I'm usually up late, so I figured I might as well do it at my best time, which is usually past 2 a.m. Yeah, I've been staying up really late. When did it start? It started like maybe a year ago. About a year ago, I was not great. Okay, look, most people that have hung out with me more than 7 times know that I am not a morning person. I don't do mornings at all. I would rather sleep in and then stay up all night than wake up early. And I'm talking, dude, I'm really bad. All right, like 11 a.m. is early for me. That's how bad it is, okay? And last year, I just started going to bed later and later and later. Oh, I remember. I don't think it was this year. I think it was sometime last year. I was at a friend's house and we were playing Monopoly. And the thing just would not end. And I didn't go. I think I left. And the sun was coming up. That was pretty bad. That was really bad. That was also, I think that was the day I also listened to Pearl Jam's new single, Can't Deny Me. It was a very weird morning. What? I don't even really remember. For some reason I remember like I didn't have my shoes. I drove home barefoot or in my socks or something. I don't know. It was a weird morning. And I came home and my dad's like, "Are you just getting home?" Literally, it was like 5:36 in the morning. And the sun was almost pretty much all up in the sky. Maybe in like 30 more minutes, it would have been full on up. And I'm just getting home. And, again, people know that I don't drink or smoke or whatever. But as a parent, you see your kid come home at 5:36 in the morning. It definitely doesn't look good, It's not like it's like, "Oh, you coming home at 6 a.m. Were you out saving the world or whatever?" No, they're like, "Okay, you got drunk and you were waiting. You got drunk and you had to wait 2 or 3 hours before you could drive home." That's not the case. It's never been the case. I've never been drunk or even buzzed, really. The closest was when about a month or two ago I was at a party and I walked around and had 3 or 4 separate drinks. I drank more. Oh God, I hope the camera didn't pick that up. I drank some rum. That was interesting. Rum is all right. But back to my sleep thing. It was sometime last year. I don't remember when exactly. I just started going to bed later and waking up later. There was a time, okay, again, in my standards, if I can be up at 1 p.m., I was going to say 1 a.m., 1 p.m., then I'm set, I'm good. Anytime before that, it's like, oh, God. That's why a lot of people just stopped asking me to, and people have said this before. I'm like, "Why don't you ever hang out, with me? Hit me up." And they're like, "Well, we know that you're asleep." And it's like, okay, touche, you're right. 12:30, yeah, I probably am asleep, unfortunately. And it's getting bad, dude. Voice crack. It's getting bad. Like, I haven't played drums in a couple weeks. Last time I played, I think was 2 to 3 weeks ago. That was when I filmed the ADD by System for my drum covers. So, I know, let me just say, we're almost 5 minutes into this, but I do have another podcast with me and my friend Alex. It's the Corn and Cock podcast. I love doing it. But, You know, if I'm being honest, I've been listening to Bill Burr, and the last few podcasts he's done, well, I'm still a couple weeks behind. But he's just funny, and I just like the very stripped down, one-on-one, just him talking to himself, or whoever's going to listen to this. So I kind of just want to do that as well. I'm just restless, I just want to be like... Also, I wanted to have a podcast called The Real Table Podcast. Jeez, I hope the camera did not pick that up too. I'm sorry, I'm a little hungry, but not really. It's almost 3:30 in the morning, almost 4, and I really don't want to eat right now, because I hear it's not good to eat at night. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm going to take its word for it, whoever said it. I think my mom said it. So I got to tell you this. Okay, but before I tell the story, let me explain. Real Table Podcast. That's kind of a combination of two different things that make me laugh. One is, table is my favorite word. It used to be synthesizer. Synthesizer was my favorite word for like 8 to 10 years. It had a good run. But eventually, someone took Chop Suey by System of a Down, and they took this soundbite of Surge, the singer Surge, saying, what do they think is about the table? They took him saying table and just took it and ran with it. And it's table, table, table. It became a meme of its own. Like, they would edit it into other songs. Like, they took this Down with the Sickness by Disturbed, and they edited it to where David Draymond sounded like he was saying table. I think his name is Draymond. David something. I probably messed that up. And then James Hetfield of Metallica. But James actually... James Hetfield actually said table on repeat in the song The View, which is on Metallica. That was the album they did with Lou Reed. Lulu. I listened to The View, and that's it. I don't want to listen to the rest of the album. Maybe I will one day, just not today. So, table's my favorite word, and then the word real, you hear people, it's just like, oh, it's real sad hours, or it's real, the real podcast or whatever. So it's like the Real Table. Alright, so just the Real Table Podcast. It's just funny. And if you're looking at that Snapchat, the picture on here that I'm going to use, or try to use, hopefully I can, get it on here. It's, that was done on Snapchat. The Real Table Podcast with Stone Kockler, Very DIY, stripped down. I'm also sitting in my car right now in my front lawn. The car's not parked on the front lawn. It's parked in front of the house. But I'm sitting in my car. Dude, I'm sitting in my car at 3:30 in the morning on a Saturday morning recording a podcast. I mean, if anyone were to come out and see this, they'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck? Where are my keys? There they are. And I was also walking out, and I'm like, I hope I don't lock myself out, because that'd be pretty bad. It's just like, it's 3:30 in the morning. I was going to go out in my car and record a podcast, and then I get locked out. Now I got to call, my parents or my sister and be like, hey, can you let me in? I locked myself out. And then, they'll come out and they'll be like, what did you lock yourself out for? Oh, I was going to go to my car and record a podcast. I couldn't do that, so I'd have to just, I had to get something in my car and just lock myself out, just by habit. And it is a habit. And another habit that I have is locking car doors, which ironically has gotten me into trouble at times. Like up north, I was with my uncle and we had to run to the Ace Hardware store. No, it wasn't Ace Hardware, some hardware store. And we go in, I lock the doors, we go, into the store. I think he told me to go back out and grab something from inside the truck. And I go out and I said, it's locked. And he goes, what do you mean it's locked? And I said, the doors are locked. And he goes, my keys were in the truck. And I'm like, oh. And he goes, did you lock it? And I'm like, yeah, I locked it. And he goes, why did you lock the doors? And I said, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what I was taught when I was a kid. And then he just starts like kind of laughing, but kind of frustrated. And he's just like because we weren't in like a big rush, but it was still pretty inconvenient. I don't think there's ever a time where you lock your keys in your car and it's like, oh, thank God, this totally works out. Now, I don't think in the history of, keys in cars, has anyone ever locked their keys in their car and said, cool, right on, or locked their keys in their house and they're like, all right, cool, let's do this. So eventually, thank God, this a friend of my uncle's was driving by and he came over and he saw us and he opened the door for us, and my uncle still gives me crap for that. But you know what? I still think I'm in the right. I think you should always lock your car. Okay? If anything, lock all the doors except for one. Okay? Also, wherever you're in the city, Phoenix or whatever, yeah, if you're in North Phoenix, you're fine. If you're in Scottsdale, you're fine. If you're in Paradise Valley, yeah, you're totally fine. There are cameras every 6 inches in Paradise Valley. There are rabbits running around. Dude, there are so many rabbits in front of my house. I don't know, it's really weird. But anyways, so, like I said a few minutes before, I gotta tell you this story. I was doing homework, and I was watching South Park. I was doing homework at the computer, and I saw that South Park was playing, and then they took a break for an hour, then they were going to come back on. So in that break, I was doing homework, and I was like, I'm hungry, and I want mac and cheese, but there's no butter, because I used it all last night. And I don't even think there would be enough butter where it just wouldn't be that good. So I sat there doing homework, and I thought to myself, am I going to drive to Walmart at 12:30 at night, or 12:45, whenever, just to buy butter and come back and make mac and cheese and go to bed? And I said, yep, I totally am. Because that's totally something I would do. I'm, the type of person that would not have the munchies, by the way, just straight up hungry. Okay, now I'm talking about food. Now I'm going to definitely go in and eat turkey or something when I'm done doing this. Like I said, I really hope this all works and I can upload it and share it. Because if it doesn't, then I'm just a crazy guy just sitting in the car in front of his house, 3:30 in the morning, doing a recording that no one's ever going to hear. But anyways, so I just make that. It was like maybe an hour before I even left the house. I said, I'm going to do this. So I watched South Park. It ended. I went back to the computer, did a couple of other things, and then it was about 1 a.m. And my sister walks out, and she's like, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to Walmart. She's like, why? And I said, I'm going to go buy some butter for mac and cheese. And she goes, okay. Like, what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Your roommate comes in, or you walk out into the kitchen, your roommate's getting to leave. Where are you going? I'm going to Walmart to get some butter. At 1 a.m. They do them, all right? You just let the man or woman go buy his own butter if they want. So I get in the car, and I'm like, let's do it. So I put on the Joe Rogan podcast, finished up the last 10 minutes, and then listened to Bill Burr. I get to Walmart, and it's 24 hours, and of course there are a bunch of tweakers. I was telling Alex this the other day. There's like a code with the tweakers, and that code is basically, hey, look, I won't call the cops on you unless you call the cops on me. You call the cops on me, then I'm going to call the cops on you. That's kind of the tweaker code when you go to Wally World, or really wherever tweakers are, is they won't call the cops on you unless you rat them out, unless you call the cops on them or do whatever. So I get there, and you always see tweakers in couples. You hardly just see a tweaker by himself. And even if you do see a tweaker in the store alone, guarantee you they come out in the parking lot, they go into the other car, and there's somebody there. That's something I've just noticed. Or maybe it's just this one Walmart I go to, but it's the one on Tatum and Bell. So again, it's not like I'm in South Phoenix. If I was in South Phoenix, I definitely wouldn't be in my front, in the front of the house, in my car at 3:30 in the morning recording a podcast. I might, just do it, during the day. or maybe in my house. I don't know. I think another reason I'm doing this at night is so I don't have any distractions. I'm also sitting in the car looking around at the rabbits jumping around. A lot of rabbits are hopping around, man. I feel like they're plotting something. And also, no one's gonna. I'm recording this on my phone, so no one's gonna call me or text me at 3:30 in the morning. And if somebody does, then there's something bad happened. Okay, whenever you get a phone call or text at 3:30 in the morning, somebody's drunk and they're telling you that they love you, or they're having car problems, or something bad happened. It's one of those three. Okay. The three true outcomes of getting a phone call past 1 a.m. Really 2 a.m. So I go to Walmart and I'm pulling up and I walk in. I people watch. I'm looking at the people walking in and out. Again, couples, tweakers. I think there's like one or two normal people. It's not all tweakers, okay? I'm not going to sit here and badmouth Walmart like that. Or at least the one I went to. What the fuck? Oh, shit. Like I said, I'm sitting in my car and I forgot I have a cup in here that I left. So I walk in and I turn left because the deli's right there in the front. And I'm walking in and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I might as well. I'm here. Just might as well. So I walk over and I grab a slice of cheese, a little block of medium cheddar cheese, a small bag of carrots, butter, and then what was the last thing? Oh yeah, turkey. I figured I was there, might as well. You know, when I was a kid, I used to, make cheese slices, or my mom would, and then I got older and I started doing it myself. And then turkey was always, a good snack. And then carrots. I've always had carrots. That carrots are good for your eyes thing that Bugs Bunny says. I heard that's not true. I don't know if that's proven or whatever. I don't really, know. But I do know they taste good. So I got butter and I'm standing in line, because there's 2 registers open. Watching these, tweakers buy all their shit. There are these 2 guys that look like they could be, Class A Hall of Fame stoners buying, like, paper towels and a bunch of random food shit. And I buy my stuff, I walk out to the car, and I come back home. Now it's like 1:30, 1:45, and I get home and I immediately start making it. Then I do homework, and made the food, and it was good. I think it was worth it. I think it was totally worth the 1 a.m. trip to Walmart, because I think most people would just be like, hey, you know what? I'll just have it tomorrow. I'll just go to Walmart tomorrow and buy it, or a store closer, because it's about a 10 to 15 minute drive. There's no traffic, but there's lights and everything. And I know people say, like, you just run the light. I'm not going to take that chance. Because I've had terrible luck. I've had terrible luck with just things in life. Now, I am definitely not going to run a red light, because a cop is sitting right around the corner, and the second I do it, he's going to, just lurch in and murk my ass. So no, that's not going to happen. It's going to be an X on that one, fam. But I got to tell you about this class that started. It's an accelerated course. I actually took 2 accelerated courses. One was January to March. Then I had like 2 weeks off. 2.5, 3 weeks. And then I actually got an A in that first accelerated course, Intro to Human Communication, A+. Well, it said A, so I guess it's an A. That's all that matters, okay? I missed that teacher. That was a cool teacher. It was a cool class. And then my second one is computer usage. And this class sucks because it's all online, and I'm not great with computers. And whenever I have a question or whatever, whenever you have a question nowadays, you have to email the professor or the teacher. And then God knows when they're going to respond. Because teachers love to just remind you that, At Friday at 5 p.m., they're done. They're going to go MIA on your ass. And then magically Monday morning at 7:30, 8 a.m., they will be back. And I was kind of worried because I could not find the chapter 1 and 2 quizzes on this thing. I mean, I was searching for it. I found the fucking Holy Grail quicker than finding these quizzes. I could not find it, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And I'm emailing the teacher, and she's like, it's right here. And I'm like, I can't see it. I don't know where it is. And I went to bed last night, still couldn't find it, but I'm getting other assignments done. This week I have, and it's an accelerated course, so instead of like 5 assignments a week, it's like 10 assignments, which is fine, I get it. So right now, well, yesterday I finished one, but I couldn't find the quizzes, so I just kind of was like, fuck it, I'll just, email her and then check tomorrow. I woke up super late today, and I got on the computer, and I'm just, like, again, searching for it. I didn't even have chocolate milk. I went right to the computer. I have chocolate milk when I wake up in the morning, not coffee, because I don't really like coffee. It's not really that great. So I go right to the computer. I'm looking for this thing, and she tells me it's in the Word folder. And I'm like, where's this Word folder? Lady, I can't find it. So I'm looking, and eventually I found it by accident. You know how many times, like, I found or accomplished something by accident? Like in a video game, it's like, oh, I'll try this. Oh, it worked. How'd that happen? Or, I've been on a job site with, like, my uncle and my grandfather, and they're trying to fix, what the fuck is wrong with this air conditioner? They've tried everything, and then they'll, like, lean up against it, and then they'll just, like, look at it, and they'll smack it, and it turned on. And then you have to, hope to God you turn off and turn it back on, everything's fine. You don't want to, like, jinx yourself. But, yeah, and I just finished an assignment. I actually got on, so before oh, jeez, that sounded weird. Heard a car speeding off in the distance. It sounded like a horn. It sounded like the fucking Houston Astros horn they play whenever the Astros hit a home run. Yeah, I know, that didn't make any sense, but what was I saying? Oh, yeah, the class. So today, I got off work, and a friend of mine was like, hey, we're going to this bar. And I said, oh, if I get off early enough, it's on the way back to my house. It's like a minute away. Mind if I stop by? She said, sure. So after work, I go over, and I'm hanging out, and in my head, I'm like, you know what? I should have gone home and done homework, but, I don't get to see, I don't get to hang out too often, especially in the upcoming months because of these homework assignments, how much I got. I'm surprised I'm even doing this. So, and the funny part is, the Diamondbacks and Dodgers game started at 7:10 when I was at my job at Sardella's. And I got off work at like 11, and the game was still going on, like 11:15. And I went over there to this bar, and I was there for like an hour and a half, not too long. And then I drove home, and I watched the end of the game. Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers 5-4 in LA, thank God. But it took the game over 6 hours. It was like 6 hours and 6 minutes. It was a long game. It was a really long game. But Diamondbacks won, so it was worth it. So, why did I tell that story? Oh, yeah. So, the game ended, and when it was on a commercial break, I went over to the computer, I set everything up, I signed into my account, I got my homework assignment up, ready to go, watched the end of the game, felt good, went over to the computer, and I had 5 assignments due. So I was halfway done. Well, technically 9, because 1 was extra credit. So I get on there, and the fucking website was under maintenance from 1 a.m. to 11 a.m. this morning. And I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I should have, but then I thought, well, here's the thing. Had I just come home, I wouldn't have been able to do 2 of them. So it's not like time was completely lost or wasted. But I could have, done the quizzes. Why did I do the quizzes tonight? Oh my god, I am so... No, I couldn't. The quizzes and the 2 other assignments were together. Oh, okay. Yeah, alright, I'm good. Alright, folks, this is why you don't stay up until fucking 3:30, 4 a.m. every morning, because you start to forget shit that just happened to you 20 minutes ago. And I'm also sitting in my car, and I keep thinking I'm seeing shit. And now there's a siren off in the distance. What the fuck? Yeah, maybe I should do this, like, way earlier. Or maybe not in my car where I can look around and possibly see a shadow or something. Man. I haven't recorded a podcast on my phone in a long time. Last time I did it was 2014. Me and a couple friends did a couple podcasts. Oh, dude. Here's a quick story. I used to deliver newspapers for the Arizona Republic. So I was up. I went to work at 1 a.m. and got off around, depending on what day. Some days I got off at 3, 4 a.m. Some days it was 6:30. There's a time I had 2 jobs at Harkins and Arizona Republic. Well, there's my phone. Went off. Probably heard that, but whatever. Yes, that's the Arizona Coyotes howl when the Arizona Coyotes score a goal. So anyways, I worked at Harkins in the Arizona Republic at the same time. So there are plenty of times where I would have to go to work at 4 p.m., work and close, so get off at midnight, go right to the warehouse and start doing the inserts. Then the truck would come, give us the papers, I'd go take my deliveries, and then I'd get off work around 4:35, sometimes 6. So do the math, that's like basically a 12 to 14 hour day. And I did that like 2 or 3 times a week for months. I did Harkins and the newspaper job, I think, for maybe 9-10 months, together. And during that time, I did Harkins, I did the newspapers, I was in a band, and we practiced like once a week. I think it was Wednesday or Sunday. I think it was Wednesday. We practiced, and I still played drums. I still did my drum covers, and my social life was just fucking through the roof. 2015, still the best year of my life, especially from like June 2015 to October 2015. That was the fucking best. That was the best period of my life. I felt like I was a different human being. I didn't even feel like I was myself. I was running all over the place. Every single night I was doing something. I was driving around. I was meeting new people. I was doing shit. Yeah. I'll tell some tales from 2015. Hopefully in the upcoming weeks or months that I do this. So anyways, but before that, or during all that, I was, like I said, I was in a band. And, a band's not just all about the music. It's about hanging out, because you want to make sure that you're friends with everyone. You get along with everyone in the band. Those are the most successful bands, when everyone can not play music together and get along. If you can only play music, but you can't hang out outside of practice, it's not going to work. It's not going to end well. So, my friend Tim, you know what? Someone could add a counter of how many times I say and so. Probably be a lot. Anyways, I was with Tim, and everyone knew I deliver newspapers, so sometimes I would have people come on my routes with me. And I wouldn't even ask. Sometimes people would want to, hey, can I go on your route with you? Can I go on the route? Like, why do you want to deliver newspapers with me at 3:30 in the morning? I had plenty of people bail on me, when it came down to it, or they did it once, they didn't want to do it again. Made some good friends on the paper route, because, you get to know them, you throw newspapers out the window, and you're talking, you go get some food, when you're done, a Whataburger or whatever's open. Or if it's like a Saturday or Sunday and you get off at fucking 5:30, 6 in the morning, you just go to Denny's or IHOP or whatever's open. I don't think IHOP's open that early. I don't know, who gives a shit. So Tim would go on a bunch of runs, and Tim loved to drive. I like to drive. Again, people who know me know that I like to drive. Tim really liked to drive. So me and him would bond over about driving here and there, doing whatever. So he really liked sitting and throwing newspapers and just driving around. And we had our podcast, we called it Into the Cosmic Brownie. That was, we just hit the 30-minute mark. Half hour in, boys, let's do this. That's another one. So and an counter. Someone could sit there and just jot down how many times I say it. So we would record on my phone. We would just, get together, and me and him I would record, and a lot of times we would play Black Ops. He was really good at zombies. You know what? Looking back, that was fun. That was in band, and we had a falling out and everything, but that was really fun. I had you can't make up this shit. Some of these genuine, honest reactions are the funniest shit, because I had reactions of me, him, and our other guitar player, Nate. What the fuck was that noise? Jeez. That was like a halfway burp or something. We were playing Black Ops, and we just had so many good, reactions. We'd start yelling and just, what the fuck are you doing? Open the fucking door! Or whatever. Whatever might be another counter somebody could make. And we did this a handful of times. We had, part 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd go back and listen to them, and they were really funny shit. So we were delivering, or I think we were done. I don't remember if we were done recording or almost done, but we started. I was like, hey, you want to record? He's like, yeah, sure. So we're in my car, and we start recording at 2:30, 3 a.m., and we're recording. And I have my phone on me, and we're just talking, and we're doing a bunch of shit. And I think we got food. Yeah, we got food. We went through the drive-thru. We didn't stop recording. That was my thing. I didn't want to stop. When I stopped recording, that was the end of the video. Because you can't, I just could not edit it on my phone. Or I couldn't figure it out or something because I was stupid. So we went through the drive-thru, and then we went to our hangout spot over by PV Mall, which is we basically drive to the top of the parking garage and just look out in the Walmart parking lot. Different Walmart, though. You had a nice view of the PV Mall area, and you can see, Paradise Valley. You can see all the lights and everything. Can't really see downtown Phoenix because of the mountains. So we did that, went back to his house, and we're still recording. And now the sun's coming up. And we've been doing this for about 2.5 hours. And we're still recording. Okay? We're still recording. Okay? There are times where he would have to go to the bathroom and I would talk, or I would have to go and he would kind of talk. He's kind of quiet. So sometimes there'd be 30 seconds of silence. I'd be like, you didn't say anything, did you? And he's like, no. And I don't know who, but one of us came up with the idea of, hey, let's go back to Shadow Mountain and say hi to some people. Because it's 7 o'clock and people were just getting to school. So we were like, okay, so I'm still recording this. All right? We're about 4 hours into this thing. We go to Shadow Mountain, and we don't go in the campus, because I think we weren't allowed. So we just went to the front gates, and we're saying hi to people. Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? And then my chemistry teacher, my old chemistry teacher, Mr. Mueller, I see him, and we make eye contact, and I'm like, oh no. And he starts walking up to me really fast, and I'm like, oh shit. And I'm just still recording, and I didn't want to stop recording. So I kind of had to hold my phone in a way that it doesn't look like I'm totally trying to capture what I'm saying when I totally am. So he comes over. He's I want to make a Walter White Breaking Bad reference here because he's a chemistry teacher, but I just can't think of one. He's kind of not too tall, a little shorter than me, with glasses, and it's been such a long time since I've heard his voice, but I remember he had kind of he talked quick, and everything was short. Everything, all of a sudden, ended like this. They just started and ended, or whatever. I was always on edge when I was around him. I wasn't even, dude, I graduated high school, and he's talking to me, and I still felt like he was going to fail me, okay? And I'm talking to him while I'm recording for about 2-3 minutes. And he walks away. And Tim was like, did you record that? And I'm like, yes, I had that whole thing recorded. So we leave, and the sun is practically, it's up, all right? It's in the fucking morning. I must have not worked at Harkins later that day, because why the fuck would I still be up at 7:30 in the morning? So after that, we went back over to my house in that area. We went to Wendy's to either get food or go to the bathroom. And then we went across the street to this little bridge and walked over there, because I think we were talking about, like, you know, places we could take a picture of the band or whatever. And we're like, oh, this band, you know, we could take a picture on this bridge. That's never been done before, whatever. And then we went back to my house, played some zombies a little bit. And then we stopped the recording around 8:30 in the morning. I think it was 8:30. So, look, 8:30 in the morning. That podcast was at least 5.5 hours long. 5.5 hours long from, let's say, 3 a.m. to 8:30. 5.5 hours straight of me holding my phone and recording everything. And we did some shit, right? We drove around. We started in one area, drove all around. Man, oh God, I wish I could have that recording. There are a few recordings, like I said, that I did back then that were fucking hilarious. I don't know what the fuck happened to that phone. No, either way, that happened, and that was, you know, you look back, you know, I guess this could be like when you're a musician, you look back in some bands that you were in, you're like, you know, there's some good times in there. Everything kind of turned to shit when, you know, the falling out of the band or whatever. But there's some good times. Again, 2015 was a great year. There are some lows, don't get me wrong, but there are some, you know, some high marks. And 2015, you know, that band, it was a lot of fun to be in. And, you know, it's a shame how, actually, ironically, I always kind of made the joke, because September 2nd, 2015, they gave me the ultimatum to play their kind of music or leave. So I left, because I wanted to, the music I listened to when I was a kid and still do now says you do what you want to do. You don't, you know, sell out or give in. And then it's like, well, you got to compromise. The thing was, compromise was out the window. This wasn't a compromise. This was, you know, 4 other guys saying, we don't like what you're doing. Do what we want to do. I kind of pushed it too far. Well, also, we just had different, you know, we wanted to be a metal band, but I wanted to be more complex and not as, you know, not commercial, but not just double bass. You know, not like Slayer or Amon Amarth like they wanted to sound like. I wanted to kind of have that sound, but also incorporate a few other things. I wanted to do some mellow, quiet stuff, and then get loud and fast, and do odd time signatures. I didn't want to do that. So they wanted to move on in a different direction, and I wanted to, you know, do a different thing. So we mutually split up, and they were surprised. I think they were expecting me to just stay and be like, oh, no. I'll play what kind of music you guys want. And like I said, that's not what I saw when I was a kid. You do what you want to do. And I really tried compromising. And there were times where I did what they wanted, and I was just miserable. I wasn't having fun. And that's part of the reason why I left, is because I'm not having fun doing this. So September 2nd, they came over to my house, and they gave me the ultimatum, and I left. 5 days later, I lost my virginity. And I said, I should have left that band a long time ago. You know, looking back, it's like, oh, yeah, I should have left that band a long time ago. Then you're like, yeah, maybe I should have stayed in the band a little longer. I don't know. You know, losing your virginity is something else. I've yet to hear a good I lost my virginity story. It's they're either all awkward, which most of them are awkward. That's like the underlying theme. Or there's a little bit of, I shouldn't have done it. I should have waited. I should have I shouldn't have given in so soon. I wanted it to be with somebody, special. And yeah, at the time I thought it was, but, really it wasn't. And that was kind of the case with me. But you know what? It's in the past. You just try to move on. You take the good with the bad. That whole experience was basically showed me, wow, there are actually girls out there who actually are interested in me. Because before that, there's no interest at all. In fact, I lost my virginity because a guy came up to me and said, "Hey, this girl likes you." And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yes." And I walked up to her practically and said, "Hey, I heard this. Is this true?" And she goes, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Fuck." I didn't say that. But in my head, I said it. So I don't know. Man, we're 40 minutes into this thing. Feels like only like 38 minutes have gone by. What do I got planned today? So I'm going to go to sleep. Then I'm going to wake up in about 6 hours, give or take. And go hang out with a friend, get some food, maybe go see a movie. Then go to work at 5. Diamondbacks are on tomorrow at 6. Or today, sorry, it's 6. So I'll watch that game or listen to it. Maybe if I ask nicely, they'll put the game on in the restaurant. And then after that, I'll probably do some homework. I'd like to hang out. I'd like to hang out with somebody tomorrow night. I just don't know if I can. And then fucking Sunday, there's a day game. Actually, the Coyotes and the Diamondbacks play during the day. And then I gotta go to work. And then the assignments are due at 11. I get off at 10, so I really do have to get my assignments done before Sunday afternoon because I'll be busy Sunday afternoon. That'll be it. And then I'll have an hour, maybe, after I get off at 10, 10 to 11. I really wanted to, man, if I could have got those quizzes done, I'd only have 2 more assignments, but I have 4. So I guess I'll just have to do all 4 of them tomorrow night. Probably can't hang out with anyone tomorrow night. But oh well. But speaking of Diamondbacks, yes, baseball has started, and I'm very excited. I'm very happy. And as a baseball fan, yeah, you're excited because you can watch your team again. Diamondbacks, I don't really think it's a soft rebuild. It's a small rebuild. And for those of you who don't know what the word rebuild means, you can probably guess. You don't want to hear the term rebuild with your team because it's basically them saying, hey, we can't compete this year, so we're going to try to save some money and hopefully next year we can, or in the next few years. It's basically how the Astros won the World Series in 2017 and how the Cubs won in 2016, okay? Yeah. And rebuilds have been working recently. I was trying to tell my dad, rebuilds have worked for teams, so maybe the Diamondbacks should do it. And he goes, no, I want to... Because the Diamondbacks have this weird in-between system where they have just enough money they can kind of go for it. But they can't really full-on go for it because they don't have the money. They have enough money to sign maybe 1 or 2 good contracts, and that's it. And all these other guys are like these young rookies or kids that you're like, who the fuck is this guy? Oh, man. But, what is it? Thursday, the 28th is opening day. And, oh my God, that was terrible. We opened the season in LA during the day for a 4-game series. We lost 12-5. It was 12-2 at one point. We gave up 8 home runs to the Dodgers. Like, my God, what the hell is wrong with you? 4 by Zach Greinke, and then 4 by Matt Cook. That's pretty bad. So today, I was not really having too high of expectations. And we were down 3-0. And we came back and tied the game. Dodgers took the lead immediately. We came back and tied it again. And that's when the game just stayed tied. We tied it in 4-4 in the 8th. It stayed tied until the 13th inning. 2.5, 3 hours later. Woo, that was... I listened to most of that. Well, most. I'd say maybe half of that game. And then I watched the last 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes on TV. Again, it just reminded me of the World Series last year, 2018, with the Dodgers and Red Sox. I think it was Game 3. Game 3, it was the longest postseason game in history. It was like 7 hours. It was above 7 hours. I started my shift at Sardella's and left, and the game was still going on. It started at like 5 p.m., 5:10. It ended past midnight. You know, I want to maybe say 12:30. Between 12:10 and 12:30. And the Dodgers won that game, so didn't really end too great. But Red Sox won the World Series. Dude, the fucking Dodgers have lost. They've made the World Series 2 years in a row and lost it both times in LA. The baseball gods don't want the Dodgers to win. So how and why do they keep making it? I'm telling you, dude, the Dodgers were practically trying to lose the championship series last year, and the Brewers just could not do it. The World Series should have been Boston and Milwaukee. I still think Boston would have won, but it would have been 6 games, and it would have been closer. You just got the feeling, Boston was there, and they were, bam, ready to go. They were dominating, and the Dodgers were barely hanging on. It took them an extra game 163, to make it to the playoffs. To clinch the NL West. Man, I don't know. Dodgers just need to fucking go away. They just need to lose. They're just a waste of space in the playoffs, man. Like last year, Atlanta made it, and I was so happy for them. Like, good. Atlanta fucking made it. I saw a clip of the Braves-Dodgers postseason last year, and apparently, I didn't even hear about this because the Dodgers won the series 3-1. But apparently, in Game 3 in Atlanta, the Atlanta fans were chanting, and they got under the Dodger pitcher, Walker Buehler, and Buehler walked the pitcher on like 4 pitches or something. Really fucking bad. And then the next batter, Ronald Acuna Jr. hit a grand slam off of him. It was great. I love watching. Sometimes when I'm feeling down or sad or whatever, I'll go and watch Dodger clips of them losing. Cheers me up immediately. I'll watch like Clayton Kershaw chokes or, LA Dodger chokes or whatever. It's great. Really good. So what is it? March 30th. I don't know, man. 2019 is almost a fourth, right? Fourth of the way done? 4, 8. Oh, wait, no. 3, 6, 9, 12. Yeah, fourth of the way done. January seemed to, I don't know, went by fairly fast. Not too fast, not too slow. I guess in the middle. February seemed to go by pretty quick. March has gone by super fucking slow. Like, my God. I think March goes by slow for me because baseball starts. And, I just got a Snapchat from somebody. What the fuck? And it's 4:11 right now. What the fuck is she doing up right now? I don't know. Well, it's on Snapchat, so I was going to say it's not a phone call. If it was a phone call at 4:11 in the morning, what did we say before? It's not good. I don't know. I'll have to check it, when I'm done. I'll probably be wrapping it up soon. I want to try to get to around an hour. We'll see. Just kind of testing the waters here. But yeah, we're at 49 minutes, 15 seconds and counting. 16, 17, 18. But yeah, what is it? Like I said, it's almost going to be April. Both of my jobs, I work down at Chase Field for the Diamondbacks and Sardella's. And I'm going to be doing the school thing for basically 6 more weeks. That'll be fun. Jeez, I'm just making a bunch of fucking noises. I really gotta oh my God, I gotta eat something. Or I just have to take one bite of, turkey and go to bed. This is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Phenomenal. Jim Rome. But what do I have planned? So, I'm working this week. Next week, oh, dude, next Friday, Boston Red Sox coming to town. All right. I really hope Bill Burr makes some reference to the Diamondbacks in his podcast about that. But we'll see. I got to get caught up. Like I said, a couple weeks behind. But yeah, we started the season in LA, then we go to San Diego. We have to face Manny Machado in San Diego. That'll be fun. And then we open the home season, against the world champions, Boston Red Sox. It's the second time in franchise history they've been there. The last time was 2007, when Curt Schilling was still pitching for the Red Sox. That long ago. If anyone recognizes the name Curt Schilling. Guy's fucking crazy. Curt Schilling said he might run for president in 2020 or 2024, and it's like, oh, fuck, please don't. Please don't. Because you might actually win if you do. Just please don't. That guy is crazy. Great pitcher. Amazing pitcher. He started Game 7 for the Diamondbacks. He was a co-World Series MVP with Randy Johnson. Guy's batshit fucking crazy. So, we'll see. Kind of scared to see who's running for president in 2020. Bunch of fucking actors. Yeah, hey, look, Ronald Reagan was an actor. Okay? And he was president. And he's gone down as a pretty good president. Okay? No president's absolutely perfect. But he was a good one. He had 2 terms. Brought down the Berlin Wall. So I don't know. We'll see. But with that said, what do I have planned? I'm going to go river rafting or canoeing in a couple weeks. April 20th, 420. I'm going fucking canoeing. I called my uncle and asked him if we're still doing it. He said, yeah. And I'm like, 420. You get it? And he's like, oh, fuck, that's funny. That's a good day. What is it? I think I read somewhere next year on like February 2nd, it'll be Tuesday, which is, you'll see a bunch of 2s. Like February 2nd to 2020. So it'll be like 2. Yeah, 4 2s. Now I think everyone's going to hear that and then, what the fuck? And then go run and look that up the second I said that. Whoever's going to listen to this, I really hope I do get, 5, maybe 6, maybe 10 views or whatever. I'm trying to make this thing work. I don't know. I might just do once a week, maybe on Saturday, since this is Saturday. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe do like some long ones and some short ones. Just checking in on you. Quote Bill Burr again. You know what? Maybe I'll... Here's the thing. He's not a man crush, alright? But he is a guy that I would totally love to be friends with, because it's like he goes on these fucking rants and they're just hilarious. I only have a man crush on 2 guys, and they're both musicians, of course. Matt Cameron, the drummer of Pearl Jam and Soundgarden, and Jim Root. Jim Root is the rhythm, sometimes lead guitarist of Slipknot. Speaking of Slipknot, remember, a couple weeks ago, maybe even less than that, one of the band members, he quit the band, but he sued them, or he tried to sue. I don't know how far it got. I have to look into it. But he said he wasn't getting paid right. He found out all 8 other guys, mainly Corey and Sean, Corey Taylor, the lead singer, and Sean Crahan, the guy who wears the clown mask. He's also an extra percussion guy. He said they were making shady business decisions, and he wasn't getting paid right or properly. So he tried to sue them. Then he ended up like quitting or something. And you think to yourself, money really does ruin everything. It really does. When was the last time you heard money in a story and it didn't involve, and then we didn't become friends anymore? Or we didn't... Good job, Stone. I'm fucking tired. When this is done, I'm gonna go in and maybe eat some turkey and then go to bed. Well, I gotta see my phone went off before. I gotta see what that was about, even though I think I already know what it is. It's probably a notification in a group chat that I'm in that oh god. And then the Snapchat. Then I should be going to bed. It is interesting though that I am getting a Snapchat at 4:10 a.m. I'm used to getting notifications on my phone because I'm in group chats where people are up at different times or in different time zones. I get that. I'm not in a bunch of group chats, okay? I'm in like one or two, okay? Let me just say that. But yeah, okay, we're at 55 minutes. Probably like another 5-10 minutes and we'll wrap it up. Okay, so here's one thing that I'll do right now. Oh, this thing's fucking bright. On the Corn and Cock podcast, we would typically do this podcast is brought to you by, and then I picked Rush because they have 165 songs. That'll get us through a bunch. So with this one I'm going to do Metallica, but I'm going to change it a little bit. I'm going to talk about, the song that's going to pop. I got my iPod. I'm just going to put it on shuffle and see, because now it's totally random. It's not planned at all. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. Oh, wow. Purify. Okay. Purify by Metallica. It's on the 2003 Saint Anger album. It's the 10th track on the album. Hold on, let me double check that. I know it's the second to last track on the album. I'm almost positive. Wait, hold on a second. Metallica, Saint Anger. Yep, 10 out of 11. Damn, I'm good. Okay, Purify by Metallica. It's, Saint Anger has gotten a bunch of shit. I give it shit. Plenty. But Purify is actually a good song. If it had a guitar solo, it would be better, okay? Any song would be better with a guitar solo. Very rarely are there songs out there that don't have a guitar solo that you're fine with. Yes, there are some Rush songs that don't have a guitar solo that are totally fine, okay? But you can't do it all the time. They do it once in a while, okay? They don't do it multiple times on an album. That would drive me and a bunch of people up the wall. So the fact that Metallica wrote an entire album with no guitar solos is just crazy to me. So Purify is very fast, which is why, and it's fast and it's just loud. It's just crazy. Even now, that was written in 2003. I still give Lars credit for how fast. What the fuck? Fuck. My phone's at 15% battery, so I'm probably gonna have to wrap this thing up. We're gonna make it to an hour, anyways. All right, so Purify is really fast. It's really loud. It's fun to play on the drums, but I do have to be warmed up to play it. I can't just jump right in and play it because my arms will just fucking die. It's got double bass in it. Lyrics are kind of cheesy. They're kind of dumb in some parts, but I've heard way worse, especially way worse lyrics from Metallica and James Hetfield. So yeah, Purify by Metallica. Song discussion. It's going to be cut a little short, but there's not really much anything else to say. It's a good song. I enjoy it. It is on Saint Anger. Give me shit for it. I don't care. Whatever. Now, this thing is going to get to about an hour. It's not bad. We got through it. Not too bad. You know what? I was not too nervous to do this, but I did it. I got through it. We got through this, and hopefully there will be more to come. Thanks for listening out there. Appreciate it. Give it a like. Give it a subscription. I'm going to try to do this once a week, probably on Saturdays. Maybe there'll be a couple special occasions. If I'm busy on a Saturday or I know I'm going to be busy, then I'll fucking record ahead of time. Oh, cool. I can still check classroom notifications. What? Wait, what? What the fuck? Why has an assignment been created? That's not cool. Oh, fuck it. I'll just check it later. Alright, okay, yeah, an hour. I'm gonna go for a couple more minutes. I'm checking my phone right now. No, it's been fun. I'm gonna try to record once a week, like I said. Maybe upload on a Saturday. Like to get in a weekly basis. I don't want to do too many. Then I'll psych myself out. But it's been fun. I talked about the things I wanted to talk about. Yeah, just trying to... One thing, I will say this. I want this to mostly be a comedy podcast, comedy thing. I probably will get deep or serious every once in a while, and maybe this will be a little moment of seriousness, but I'm trying to, make a change in my life, and one thing is people keep telling me I gotta be more positive. I gotta think positive, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm fucking 23. I started going back to school 2 years ago, I think, at this point. Yeah, around 2 years ago. I finally figured out, or you know what, maybe it was a year ago. Fuck, I don't remember. Was it 2? Fuck, it doesn't matter. Year and a half ago, went back to school. My goal is I want to be fucking an American history teacher in high school and work down at the stadium with the Diamondbacks, during the summer and possibly some other shifts. Now I have money coming in, and fucking camera probably caught that too. That way I'm not completely miserable in doing any job. I'm still in baseball. I can still be around the game and everything. That's the end plan. That's the end game. And then, of course, during that, I'd like to eventually, get married. But not right now. Fuck, not anytime soon. But it's not like I have that option. It's not like it's like, oh, I got a bunch of lovely broads that would love to get married right now. No. In fact, today, and I'll end soon after this, but someone at work said, so what's your job? Or what do you want to do for a career? What are you going to do? How are you going to pay the bills? And at first I said, everything's so expensive, you can't buy anything, And she goes, how are you going to pay the bills? How are you going to support the wife and kids? And I laughed, and I looked at her, and I said, okay, in order to get kids, I need a wife. In order to get a wife, I need to find a girlfriend. In order to find a girlfriend, I need to get a date. In order to get a date, I need to talk to girls and establish a friendship or a connection. So I said, I got to start at the very bottom and work my way up. And she just laughed. But I thought it was kind of true. And I think that was kind of witty of me. It's like this whole thing. It's like in order to spend money, you got to make money. In order to make money, you got to spend money. It's one of those things. If you learned anything from this podcast, it's that 2015 was a solid year, and you want to spend money, you got to make money. You want to make money, you got to spend money. Money. All right. Okay, yeah, that's it. That's the podcast. We're gonna end it now. I'll see you next week. Bye.